Hi guys, take this chance to take you through a CRAB members registration system using Microsoft Access. To start with, this is what I will be taking you through. We shall have a system that looks exactly like this one, where you can add a new member, then you fill in the registration details here. Then you can write the first name, John. Then you go to surname, James, then address like 56 Nairobi, then postal code, for example that one, then mobile number. You can have the mobile number of the person, then you can have the registration date, then you can have identification like national ID, type of member, annual, monthly, guest, then the registration fee, let's say $50 that way. Then once you do that, you see how in this part here in the datasheet view, we have 3 guys, therefore you just update, then you get the next guy included there. On the same manner, you can be in a position to hide the toolbar. That way, you can also be in a position to show the toolbar. That is here using these buttons here. Therefore, from that point, I'll be now taking you through from scratch on how to come up with such a registration system using Microsoft Access. Okay, therefore, we launch Microsoft Access, then go to create, then we go to table. Now, once you go to table, we just go to this point here. We start with registration number, then or just I can just have it as reference number of the person. This is outer number and primary key. Then you can have the first name, that is the first name. Then you can have the surname. Then you can also have the address of the person, then the postal code. You can also have the next point here. You can have the telephone of the person. You can then have the member fee. Then we can go ahead and have the member type. You can still go ahead and have the have the member fee, the member type. Those ones, I think they are okay. Then, for example, we can capture the remarks. We might have to get the remarks. Then, from this point, we just go back. Instead of remark here, let's just have date joined. Therefore, this is date and time. Then you have member type. You just scroll down here, go to lookup. You change this one to combo. We have this one as combo. Then from there we can just go to this point here. We change this one to value list. Then from this point we can have the that is the member type as annual member. That way, then semicolon, then the next one can be guest. That way, then semicolon, we can have a monthly member. That way, then after doing so, we can go to the other one, that is the member type. We can also have the add the proof of identification. Proof of identification, proof of ID. In the proof of ID, we can do the same. Just go this one and choose combo box, then value list. Then here we have the national ID. We can have military ID, military ID. We can also have student ID, student ID as a point of student ID. We can also have something like passport as a way of identification. Then after having done so, we can just go ahead and look at the member fee. This one is currency, and then we can set it as a default value. Default value you can just set is this one to $45. Then telephone number you can set should not exceed 12 digits. Then we can also go ahead to postal code. That one remains that way. Then we can just go ahead and save this one. We just call it members registration. Then after doing that, having now identified that these are the fields that we need, we can cross this one. Then once we cross, you select the table you want. Therefore, this is the table I want. I select this table. Then I go to create. Then this time around, I am sure you have not been looking or haven't probably given a thought on how this one is used. Therefore, create a form that lets you enter information for one record at a time. Therefore, we hit on that one. Now, once you hit on that one, you'll notice that Microsoft Access has populated for us the table without much struggle. Therefore, you just right click, then go to design view. Now once you are in design view, you can be in a position to do a number of modifications here. For instance, I can just drag my mouse this way, then go to this corner here and reduce this one to a good number. Then also go to this point here and increase this one. Then after doing this, you'll be in a position to see that you can now edit your fields or controls to suit your needs. For instance, you just go to format, then go to this part here, font, choose color. Then you can also border that one. Then on the other hand, you can do the same to the left hand side, go put color and then also put bold. Then you can still think of, for example, increasing these ones to accommodate. Just a moment. You can think of just undo. I want to edit this up to this point, up to the last value there. Then we increase this a bit that way. Very good. Then from here, we want us to edit this one. Therefore, this is the reference number. Then we have this one as our first name. This is our surname. Then we can have our address, our postal code. You can just remove the underscore. Telephone number. Then you can have the member fees, or you can just call this one as registration fee. Registration fees. Then member type, just remove the underscore. Member type, date joined. Then this is proof of ID. Therefore, so far we can just save this one as members crabbing. Then you just hit on OK. Then just go to home and run. Therefore, you'll be in a position to see what we have so far. But still it is not so much appeasing or satisfactory on what we need. Therefore, on the other hand, we can still edit this one. Just go to format, then you increase the font size. Then this is members. You can just call it our crab members registration system. That way you click outside, inside, then just go to this one. You can change the font size or font style to the one you need. So that's what we need, member registration system. Just have this one as good font, can have 33, good. And then once you have done that one, once you are done with that one, I want us now to include the list box here. Therefore, you just scroll, then go to design, then go to this point here. This is the list box. We can draw our list box here. Remember, our list box will be used to display what we need in datasheet view. Therefore, in this point, you have three options. I want the list box to get the values from another table. I will type the values I refined. Therefore, you can also cancel and type codes, but I am not taking you through coding. Therefore, we are going to use the simplest method. Therefore, use this point here, next. Then I am using the table, this is members reg, next. Then I select the fields I want in the order I want them displayed. Therefore, I send everything. Then I just go to next, next. Therefore, this is how my system will look like. That this way it will look like that. We can just go back here. Yeah, our fields are all right. Then we just go to next, next, then finish. Therefore, now once we finish, we can just go back to this point here and remove this. Just click on this point here, then go to properties. Now once you are in the property sheet, you will see that our list box is called list32. Therefore, the first thing to do is to come to this point format, then column heads, headers here, you put it to yes. You need to see the headings here. Therefore, what basically will happen, you will see the headings. Therefore, first of all, you can just leave that one and see what we have so far. Therefore, you can see we have our headings displayed here. These are our headings. They are being displayed here. But you realize the auto number field has been hidden. Therefore, it will display the headings as they are in the table. Therefore, you just go back to design, then go back to this point here. And then you'll be in a position to do several modifications. Like now, the border style is solid, then border width. You can increase the border width to 3 pt. That way. You can also change the color of the border. Just go to border color here. You change the color. Like now I can opt to use red, save that one. Then see what you have. Therefore, this is what we have so far. Then what will actually happen when we are feeding data here, the borders will take that color. You can also identify the columns that you need bigger or wider. Like for example, we can widen number 1, that is these two, number 1 and 2. If we just go to this point. Now on this point here, you can change this one to 2 here in case you need that one to be bigger. That one is 2. Yeah, that way, then save your work. Therefore, when you run, when we key in data, you realize that this one is bigger. And therefore, you can see it's bigger than this one. We have assigned this one to make sure that they are bigger than the others. Therefore, that's how you can accomplish that. Then we can still do a bit of modifications on our form. Right click, go to fill color here. You can give it another color. You can also do the same to this point here. Right click, then and change the font color, that is the style, that way. Then you can still save this one and run and see what we have so far. This is what we have. On the other hand, we need the navigation buttons. Therefore, we can just go back and do the navigation buttons that way. Therefore, we just go and do the navigation button below this button, below this list or datasheet view. Therefore, we can just decrease this one upwards or reduce it. Then go to this point and take a box. This point here, take a box. This is where our navigation goes. Then go to property, You can increase the border width for that one to something like 3 pt, then cross that one, then go to this point, take this button, we put the navigation buttons next, then go to this point, you can erase this, then have it as next, then this is CMD, CMD next, finish, then you can do the same, you can have another button here, that is previous, next, text, this one you can just have it as previous, then next, this is CMD previous, then finish, then after having that one, then you can still go ahead and draw another button, that is for add a new, go to record operations, add a new record. Therefore you can just come to this point and write add new member, then next, then this is CMD add, then finish. Then you can still use the arrow keys to arrange them. Then on the other hand, you can draw another button to cross the form operations, cross form, next, that way, cross form remains that way, this is CMD cross, then finish. Therefore, after having these buttons this way, you can opt to change their properties. Go to properties, then go to hover cursor, this one, hover cursor, that's when the cursor is on them. Then we have the hover for cursor, you can also change that one. Then hover cursor we have changed, therefore save that one. You can still go ahead and choose the back color of the buttons. We need our buttons to have that color. You see what I'm doing. Then just go to format and change the font color that way. You can still change the font size of the writings. Then on the other hand, we can still opt to do some coloration or some beautifying on the back color of our box. That way, you see our box has taken some different color there. Therefore, after having done that, you can save, then run and see what we have. You see now the hover color. What is the hover event is doing? When you press the cursor on the buttons, you'll be in a position to see something changes. Then just go back and add more buttons. This time round, I want us to add a button that will be used to update our work. Therefore, just go to record operation, form operations, choose refresh form data, go to next. Then this time round here, write it as update data that way. Then you can just call it as CMD update, then finish. Therefore, this is our update button. I need it to be larger. Therefore, I go back to this point. I give it some additional features. Then just go again to design, then properties. Then you can just go to format, then go to hover color. We need it to have different hover color, and also for hover for color, you can have it having different colors. Therefore, when I save, you see our hover color. This one is different from this one, that way. Then we can assign the button again to hide the ribbon. Here we want the ribbon hidden, and we can be in a position to hide and unhide ribbon so that this form of ours can be vividly seen. Therefore, just go back to design view, then go to this point here. You can take a toggle button, then draw it here, then draw another one there. You can have two. Therefore, this one we can just write hide toolbar. Then this one is unhide toolbar. Hide, we have hide toolbar and unhide toolbar. These are our two buttons. Therefore, in our hide toolbar, you can just go back to format, then give it some font, bigger font. That way, let's see what you have. This is here. Then you can have the alarm. just go to this point, have it at 16, and therefore these are our two buttons. Therefore, in these buttons of ours, you can still add the modifications, design, property. Just go to hover color. This way here, you can choose the hover color to be green, that way. Therefore, when you run, we shall have different features. Just go to hover color and have that one. Then we have the back color of the buttons, those buttons of ours. Yeah, good. We want them to look yellowish. Therefore, you see the hover color is changing. Therefore, I want when I click this button, this toolbar is hidden. But when I click on the other one, the toolbar reappears. Therefore, you just go to this button, this one, right click, go to this one, you right click, go to build event, then code builder. Therefore, on click event, what happens? Therefore, just go and type do cmd dot show toolbar. Then the name of the toolbar, the toolbar is ribbon, that way. Then it should not be seen. Therefore, this is the simplest code here. Therefore, it will be show toolbar ribbon. This one should be no, because we want it hidden. Then you just copy this one, then you cross this, go to the next button, go to right click, go to build event, double click code builder, paste the code that we have given. Therefore, this one is this is called to hide the toolbar. Our toolbar here is ribbon toolbar, whereas the other one here, this is called to unhide the toolbar, that way. Therefore, after having done that, you can just go to this point here, save and run, then see what happens. Therefore, you see when I click this button, the toolbar has been hidden and giving me an ample time to use my system very well. Therefore, but if I need it, I just unhide. Therefore, let's just go and do something on this so that it works. Therefore, just go back to this button of ours, go to build events, see what has happened. Therefore, this one should be yes. We copied the code, but we didn't change. Therefore, this is yes, that way. And therefore, we save that one. Go back to our code, and we need to do something. Double click this. Therefore, you see it's working. Unhide, hide, unhide, hide, that way. Therefore, I can be in a position to see exactly how that one works. Then, after having done that, we need our system now to be even more attractive before we can just key in data. Therefore, you can just go to this here, this one, then go to properties. Then we can go to that is back style hearing here. You can change this one to 3pt, and also we can change the background color of those buttons to something of the sort. Therefore, after having done that, let's see what we have so far. We can try to hide the navigation pane, then run our form. We run our form. Therefore, our form is active. We just need to run it. Therefore, let's see what we have. First name, can just go and type Don Chai. Address is 34 and Russia. Then postal code. Then you can just have the telephone number, that way. Then we have the member type. You just choose the member type. The member type is annual member. Date joined. You can just go and choose today's date. Then proof of identity, passport. Then after doing that, I can just hit on update. Then you'll be in a position to see that I have been added here. I haven't paid the registration fee. If I can pay $100, then we can update that one later. Oh, we have the value entered is inappropriate for this. Okay, you can just do some modification on the table. For this, let's fix that. Go to design, then go to our table, right click, go to design view. Therefore, this is our table. We see we have the member fee currency. We messed up in the input mask. This was supposed to be default value 45. Therefore, we can fix that one. Right click cross, then go to our table. We hide this, we hide that one, then go to run. Therefore, now this time around we can have updated. We have to update our fee. Still we haven't fixed that one. You can press escape, go back to our table member, see why this one didn't take an effect. If we still go to member fee default value, at least now it's working well. At least it's fixed that we have the this one as 45. Therefore, we can still now go ahead and go to our lead table. This is what we have. Then we can add another person, add new. Therefore, you see first name we have, we can add James. This is our second member, come on, address 101 Joro. Then you have postal code, for example, we can have that one, telephone number that way. Then we can have something different here, like he's a guest, date joined, he joined yesterday, then proof of identification and military ID, then update. Therefore, you realize that the system is actually working well, and you can be in a position to see a list of members as you add them. Therefore, it will give you an ample time to see exactly how you are capturing the club members. Therefore, as you capture more and more, you'll be in a position to notice that the system is becoming even more attractive as we do that. If let's add like another 2 members, therefore you'll be in a position to see that the system is even now giving us more and more features. Therefore, you can just go to monthly members, then go to date joined. You can have 21. Proof identity for this one, for example, it's national ID. Then update. Therefore, it is still be in a position to see that we are adding. Therefore, we can add 2 members. We can still add 2 members. Just go to add new. Then we can have one guy here. Can go ahead and have another person. Then this person, for example, has paid just a moment, we've just fixed this. This one is member fee. Good. Then annual, then date joined. You can have this one as passport, then update, then add another one. We can just have Karen, then address, for example, telephone number, then this one can be $78, then monthly member, date joined 16th, then proof of ID, student ID, then update. Therefore, basically, you'll notice that our system is 100% functional, and you'll be in a position to see the members as you add them here. Remember, you can still do this way to make sure that your system is more readable, whereby you hide or unhide the ribbon to make the screen bigger, and also to make the screen now more attractive and allow you access this one. Therefore, that's how you can simply create a club members registration system using Microsoft Access without actually much of coding. I have only used two codes, that is for the hide toolbar and the unhide toolbar. Then it is also important for you to note that you will get this database uploaded on my website. I will drop the URL or the address for my website below this video. You can also consider watching more videos on Microsoft Access in my YouTube channel. Therefore, thank you very much for watching. Remember to subscribe if you haven't done so, and also share my videos to your friends. Thank you very much. See you in my next video.